Okay, so for this video, I think I'll use it to dedicate my deltarune chapter 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 fan-made Dark Worlds and such. I've I uh I think about these a lot and I work around them, and I'd like to hear your feedback on them. So if you have any suggestions I should make, please tell me. So, for Deltarune Chapter 3, and I don't have the minions and stuff like that worked out. I only have like what the final bosses will be and the secret bosses. I'll worry about the mini bosses and stuff like that, and like whatever. Uh, yeah, whatever. Moving on. So chapter 3, uh, it I'm basing this around the chess theory too. It's gonna be, or the main person, like the big bad guy, is a rook. And he loves to, like, rooks in chess. They love to move up and down, side to side, in a perfect straight lines. And so that's what this boss is around. He loves perfection and will do anything to make stuff perfect. Uh, and so, like, perfection is how this entire Dark World revolves. Um, so yeah, the name for the final boss is Prooked. That's Perookect. I think it's a mixture between perfect and rooked. And rook, sorry. Um Chapter 4. This is gonna be the one about pawns. Uh because pawns have to get out before the other two minor pieces can get into the game. Uh so anyways, this is gonna be about two two rival teams going up against. This is kind of basing on how, how two pawns, when they're right next to each other in chess, they can't do anything. They're just kind of stuck in that position. So these towns are kind of in like a locked in position, can't really do much. Like they're basically just forever stuck in a war. And one side is Wild West, another side is these fancy pants rich people. You will be on the western side, uh, just to kind of support them because they're the victim here, kind of like the rich people are obviously going to win this, and they're like destroying the western side, so they want to help the western people out. Um, chapter five, um, sorry, chapter five, it's going to be the bishop, and for some reason it just kind of fits in my mind. The bishop is all about knowledge. It wants all of the knowledge, in all of the Dark Worlds ever. So it's this really smart thing. I haven't given it a name yet. I don't know. It's kind of how do you come up with a name for a bishop? Like king and queen were easy. Prooked was kind of a stretch. So I don't know what to do for the bishop. But so yeah, uh, basically you'll just work through the Dark World uh with this really smart person trying to stop you. Maybe Birdly will really be into him. That seems like a really Birdly thing. Um, Deltarune Chapter 6, it will revolve around the night. And I saw this really cool thing. I forgot who did it, but whoever came up with this, whoever came up with the thing that death is the night, thank you, because I'm taking that. Death will be the night. I haven't decided where this takes place. Again, some chapters are more developed than others. But chapter 7, it's gonna be Gaster. Gaster's gonna be the final boss and all. And it's just gonna be one fight. There's gonna be like, well, there's gonna be like some dialogue, but it will really just be a fight. There's not gonna be like other encounters and such. But I guess I'll go back to tell you what the Dark Worlds are based around of. So 3, it's gonna be, since it's the TV and stuff, it'll be like electronics and stuff like that. I know that sounds like the cyber world, but the cyber world was more or less based around the internet. And this Dark World kind of supplied everything that the cyber world needed. Deltarune Chapter 3 will take place in the sandbox. Like, that would be where the Dark World takes place, in the sandbox. In a sandbox. I don't why the sandbox. I don't think there is a sandbox in Deltarune, but there will be one. And then Deltarune Chapter 5, that's the one with the bishop. That will take place in the library, because, wanting intelligence, library, put the two together. Deltarune Chapter 6 will take place in the little bunker area, that everyone's talking about. And then Deltarune Chapter 7 will take place in the little overworld area. Well, because, it's the Roaring. Gaster and his followers are the Titans. And then now time for the secret bosses. I've put a lot of thought into these, because these were kind of the first things I developed strangely when I made these. First one is, I guess it would be third secret boss for Deltarune Chapter 3, is Ella. Ella is this kind of like overworked person who basically runs the electric plant in this dark world. And how you activate her fight is if you overpower the generators by turning on every single switch that you come across in the dark world. It will cause the what's it called, the little breaker thing, the fuse. It will bust, and that will cause major stuff. She gets really stressed out, kind of snaps, and attacks you. And her whole thing is that she talks with underscores. So it will say it will be like it underscore was underscore you underscore wasn't it underscore, like question mark. Anyways, you get the point. Sheriff Tim Tumbleweed. That's gonna be the Western boss. He's gonna revolve around a strange man. Guess who that strange man is? Told him that there's a criminal in town, and he had to find out this criminal. But there was no criminal. Like he was just lied to, and he was spending all his time trying to find this criminal that he couldn't find. So that kind of drove him into insanity. They kicked Sheriff Tim Tumbleweed out, and you unlock him by doing everything he says that the criminal did. He'll say like, "Oh, the criminal robbed a bank here," and then you'll go rob a bank. He'll come back here and it's like, "Oh, the criminal also did this," and it's basically following the instructions, and then he'll put the dots together and attack you. Deltarune Chapter 5. I loved this one. This is the one I came up with first. I don't know why I came up with Chapter 5 first. But it's unnamed. That's his name. His name is unnamed. He'll have two forms. The first form is just his normal form. He's a lost and found box that has come to life. And how you unlock him is way back in Chapter 1, you could drop Rousey's manual. First two times he'll give it back to you. But on the third time you drop it, I think he'll let you just leave it there. This book ends up being picked up and put into the Lost and Found box. This gives the box new life, and it wants to help Chris free himself from the soul. However, in Snowgrave, instead of the book, Noelle kind of says like, "I've had enough. I don't want to do this anymore." And she goes to take off the thorn ring. She throws in the Lost and Found box, and instead of the kindness that came from the book, that brings the Lost and Found box to life, that wants to help Chris, it's now the evil and the power-hungry side of the thorn ring that brings the box to life. The box Snowgraves Noelle and kind of like uses. It's kind of like the angel fight, right? This box will. It has a cloak. That cloak will tear. Will grow. It will have angel wings instead. I drew art of it. I'll make a post about that if you want to check that out. Deltarune Chapter 6. I haven't thought much about the secret fight. It may be something to do with I don't know. I have to think about that. If you have any ideas, please let me know. Maybe another thing with Des. Maybe it'll be like a Gaster thing. Cause 7 will have Gaster, so you definitely want to tease that a bit more in 6. Maybe it's like Gaster possessed Des. Yeah, that would be the fight. Something to do with the eggs. I'm thinking about that one. 7, however, I actually have some art. Let me. This will be this is the big final showdown. And it's I don't know if you could see that. Chris possessed Gaster. No, wait. Gaster possessed Chris. Said that wrong. And, basically, during the end of Deltarune Chapter 6, when you're about to seal off the fountain, like, Chris will take his soul out, but in that time when Chris is soul out, Gaster takes over Chris's body, stops him from sealing the fountain, which causes him to come out, which causes the roaring to happen, which causes him and his followers to escape the void. And, you know, that's not really good. You don't want the roaring to really happen. And so, yeah, there's not really going to be a secret boss. So that's just kind of the final boss is Chris possessed Gaster. Here's the art again. The wingdings, you don't have to translate that. I'll translate that for you. It's kind of reversed because this is how the screen works. But it says the Roaring Titans. So, yeah, thanks a lot. Happy New Year's, by the way. I'm really going to do more of this like face cam stuff while I talk to you about certain ideas I have. I'm definitely going to be talking about how the mistreatment Google has done to me. But that's for a later video. I don't need to worry about that now. But yeah, then again, Happy New Year's. Stay up to 12. And yeah, good night.